So Michael, I'm just going to introduce them that you're the one that's going to be doing the training, productivity for the newer agents and then other agents that may want to get to the next level. So go ahead and do this. Michael works for a couple other market centers, but he's also doing this and he's doing our career center, our career nights for us also for new licensees. He also does continuing education and new licensing school also. So go ahead, sir.
All right, thank you. Yeah, just about everything. I wanted to talk a little bit about the spring market and perhaps some suggestions on how to take advantage of that. If you know that most companies do R&D, and one definition of R&D is simply to rip off and duplicate what other people are doing. So rather than having to, reinvent the wheel and come up with your own social media marketing system, if you can find somebody who's doing a good job, we could simply copy what they're doing. There's a bold statement about success leaves clues, and we ought to follow the models that others have set. And that would include rip off and duplicating skills and techniques, methods, tactics, experience, models. These are all the different things that we would be looking at. And some of this comes, speaking of ripping off and duplicating, some of this I've ripped off and duplicated, added a little bit to it. But one way to make the spring the best you can be for your business is what's called the 5 to Thrive. And this is basically, this came from Tom Ferry, who interviewed thousands, over 3,000 people that was in his coaching program as well as others. And they identified people that were making over $300,000 a year in gross commission income. I understand for some of you that would be cutting back, but it's a good place to start with. 5 hours of prospecting per week. Notice that's per week. Not talking about 5 hours a day. For most agents, if you spent 1 hour a day of actively prospecting, and rather than calling it prospecting, I like to call it appointment setting, right? Because prospecting or lead generation, some people think that sounds bad. What we're really doing is setting appointments. Also, a goal could be to add 5 people each day to the database. If we did that 5 days a week, that would be 25 a week, and at 4 weeks in a month, that would be 100 a month, and if we did that for 12 months, that would add 1,200 people to our database. And if you assume that people buy or sell once every 15 years, which is a bit on the conservative side, that's 166 transactions that would be generated just through that group. And if you got, 1 in 10 of those, 16 transactions wouldn't be a bad start. Also, to hold 5 open houses a month with a sign-in sheet so that we can be adding people to our database, and follow up with prospects or leads at least 5 times. One of the things they found from interviewing these agents is that the difference between agents that were following up 3 times with a prospect before they gave up versus those that followed up 5 times was over $100,000 a year in income. And so the suggestion would be that you would pick a particular category, like, for example, sphere of influence or business to business or vendor leads, and practice those scripts. So rather than doing a little bit of this and a little bit of that each day, to spend the time following up with the same category of person in order to get better at the scripts. Another thing that I'd like to talk about is appointment setting, and the 2 historic ways of doing this is through marketing or prospecting. And marketing is really attraction marketing and is usually aimed at people that we have not met. The type of agents that are attracted to marketing are usually high S's and high C's. One of the things that I like to work into the coaching program is a discussion of the DISC profiles. I'd like to see one on all the people that I'm coaching, and to learn how we can observe that in others as well as ourselves to be more effective. And so S's and C's would rather have people contact them. And so they're more focused on systems and branding, Facebook posts, signs, postcards, open house, internet. Now, shopping carts, I put it on the list because it's out there. never been a big proponent. I've had agents ask me about, should I buy shopping cart ads? And I always say, well, sure, because the homeless people are pushing them around, and gee, you sell real estate, and they're homeless, right? What a match, But other than that, that's a very passive image type system, flyers, brochures, and drip campaigns. And this is really hoping for business. Active prospecting is really more aimed at our Mets. And usually D's and I's are focused to that. D's because they don't want to waste time, and I's because they, well, frankly, like talking to people in the first place. And so this is more of the grab than the hope, right? They're building relationships, talking to people, reaching out, finding needs, lunch and learns, coffee. I recommend to people in the coaching program to try to make it a goal to have 3 coffee appointments with their sphere or vendors each week, setting appointments and mixers, phone calls, either OSA or ISA. If you're not sure what those are, we can talk about it. Those are simply terms for making inside and outside calls. HR departments, one of the agents that I'm coaching has been doing lunch and learns at a large tech company, has about 8 or 9 leads as a result from doing that. Other corporations, FISBOs and pop buys. And really what we're doing on the left-hand side is marketing to people so we can move them to the right-hand side and have them into our database where we can follow up with them. So one of the things that is good for putting together a plan is to self-examination to see where your personality falls as to which system is going to work best for you. What are your needs? How much money do you need, and how soon do you need it? What kind of goals do you have? And also looking at really the reality of your situation in terms of the amount of time you're willing to devote and have the ability to devote, to pursuing this business. If you're interested in finding out more, I would love to offer a free coaching session. We would do a needs analysis and an economic model and start to put together a business plan. That's my name, phone number, and email address. Just feel free to reach out to me and we'll make an appointment. This week, tomorrow, I'm doing an open house clinic at one of the other market centers, and on Wednesday, that, by the way, tomorrow is at 11 o'clock, and at Wednesday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon at a different market center, I'm doing a workshop on building leads from business to business referrals. And all of you are welcome. I've sent Tony the links to that, or if you reach out to me, I'll send them to you directly. You're welcome to participate. Even down here, most of the people are participating over the internet, logging in. You can ask questions. Which is both a good and a bad thing, Also, as Tony mentioned, we have a real estate school. That's my website, dreclass.com. Anybody you want to build your profit share tree, you can send people to the site virtually every week, not tomorrow, but most Tuesdays there's a career session. I believe in April on the 19th, we'll be doing one in the Market Center up in your area. There's a guest lesson. Anyone can come and sit through a class for free. There's no cost or obligation, and the classes are on Wednesdays and Thursday nights from 6:30 to 8:30, and it's a great way to build your profit share tree and start earning residual income from profit share. Anyhow, that's all I got for now. Any questions?
Anybody have any questions?
Yes, the rest
Yes.
of the phone number. His phone number is missing a digit.
Michael, your phone number was missing a digit?
Oh, I did that on purpose just to see if you were paying attention.
All right.
And apparently you were. So I don't know why my program is doing this, but it was doing a weird thing. Let's just see. See, I don't know. It's 408 412 1061, and it's not having fun with that. 408 412 1061, and I don't know why this particular program is doing this right now, but it doesn't like me to put in the phone number. 408 412 1061, and maybe if I just make
Anybody else have any other questions?
How
I
about-
have a question.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, Matt McFall, we spoke before. My question is, I really like what you're saying about prospecting with a purpose, okay? Well, prospecting for an appointment. And, but I like to take it one step further so that people understand what the purpose of the appointment is. And I work on listings quite a bit, and so I let people know that the purpose of my appointment with them is to list their homes. Do you agree with that it's important to have a purpose of the appointment?
Certainly. I think all appointments should have a purpose. It sort of depends on where the person is in their progress. I always would ask people on the phone when I talk to them, I would say, just to get an idea of where you're at in the process, are you planning on listing your home with me tonight or tomorrow night or whenever it was? And I had to learn to ask that question, and I was pleased to find a lot of people say, yeah, that's why we called you. We want to list our home. And that makes it a more a happy trip to go there. But yes, there are at different stages people that need to find out whether or not they can sell and whether moving is really feasibility. You know, so some of it is a needs analysis. And so the coming from contribution would say that I would go talk to people and I would have an appointment with them to find out what their needs are and what they need to accomplish and where they want to go, and discuss a strategy for them getting there. And that probably would involve listing their home, but sometimes it's better to focus on what their needs are rather than ours.
Anybody else?
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Michael. I appreciate it.
All right,
We'll
Tom.
talk to you a little later today.
Thanks a lot. Bye.